Hello YouTube, Ronald Belmont here from Retro Video Game Weekly. Unfortunately, we have to start today's episode with some very disturbing news. 6 camp counselors have gone missing from the Crystal Lake campgrounds. Authorities are looking for this man in question with the disappearances. If anybody out there has seen this man, please contact the local authorities immediately. On this week's episode, we feature a very talented YouTuber by the name of Dommerscoolstuff. Mr. Dommer, how are you today?
Hey Ron, thanks for having me.
Mr. Dommer, what do you say we start today's episode a little differently than we've done in previous episodes? I want to know from you who and what inspired your channel.
Well, basically a lot of things inspired me to start the channel. The biggest influence is definitely the Spoonie experiment. Spoonie, I think, is one of the more talented guys out there. He puts out a lot of quality product, and just looking at what he doesn't tie himself down to one specific thing. He does video games, he does movie reviews, he does vlogs, he does writing, and if you want to get a sense of what fully inspired Dommerscoolstuff, it's the Spoonie experiment, and I will never obtain to be the Spoonie one. I'm not. That's just something that's not going to happen. For me, anyway. But, other things inspire me, too. The two bigger influences besides Spoonie Experiment, and actually the ones that convinced me that I could actually do it, was Frugal Filmmaker and Film Riot. Basically, those two shows proved to me that I don't need much of anything to actually get a YouTube channel going. All I need to really do is use my head and creative thinking. So those were the two biggest influences that got me started. And since then, it's been, Angry Video Game Nerd. Obviously, James Rolfe is a big influence on me as well. And I like his more horror movie stuff than I do Angry Video Game Nerd. I love the Angry Video Game Nerd stuff. But, some of his horror stuff is really underappreciated. And, there's obviously the Game Chasers and the Retro Hunters. I mean, Billy and Jay, and especially Billy, the way he edits his stuff, that's a big influence on me as well, especially as of late. And, I have Angry Joe. There's a couple other internet reviewers out there that, Juwario, you can play this. He's an influence on as well. I just take a lot of things and just make it a melting pot and see whatever happens, and throw a lot of stuff on the wall and see what sticks.
Dommer, it's very clear to us at Retro Video Game Weekly that a lot of time and effort goes into editing your videos. Just how long does it take you to edit one of your episodes?
In the beginning, it took a long time. Last October 2011, I actually started going in front of the camera. I wasn't presenting anything. It was just me getting used to being in front of the camera. And my first 2 or 3 videos, the Halo Combat Anniversary, the Halo Evolved Anniversary Edition, and the failed Animal Crossing project, that is me literally going on a really bad cell phone camera and having to use a video editor that I downloaded off the Android Marketplace for free to trim them up to find the best takes, and then to upload it to YouTube, then use YouTube Video Editor. Obviously, more time was spent uploading the videos, because like the Animal Crossing project, that's technically like 20 videos that I uploaded that I had to chop together. Then over time, I've gotten it better and better and better. I think the longest time it took me to finish a review from start to finish was about 22, 23 hours, and that was the Mass Effect 3 review. And that was more so problems with video editing itself and the editor that I was using. I was using Adobe Premiere Pro, and ever since the Mass Effect 3 review, I've actually been using Movie Maker until I figure out what video editor I want to use. So now, like a Game Hunt yard sale, and the Dead Pixels review is a great example of me getting better at this stuff, I think. Dead Pixels was written, filmed, edited, and finished in 5 hours. And that was literally just a spur of the moment. I'm doing Dead Pixels review finally. I'm tired of wanting to do it. I'm going to do it. And the Game Hunt, they take a couple hours. Nowadays, about 5 to 8 hours.
Dommer, one of our favorite shows that you do is called the $15 Challenge. Where'd the idea come from?
The $15 challenge is quite honestly one of my favorite ideas that I came up with. I needed to prove to me, my wife, and that I can only spend $15 to get a really decent video game collection going. And that was more so a product of me finally being able to quit smoking. I smoked for about 15 years, and I was up to 2 packs a day. Around here, it's like $8 a pack. So I was literally smoking a little over $15 a day on cigarettes. So after I was successfully finally able to quit smoking, I decided to say, you know what, let me take, what money I was spending on cigarettes a day and see if I can use that to get video games and buy video games and get a great video game collection going. So that's how the whole nucleus of the $15 challenge was, to see if I could do it. And once I realized, yeah, I can do it, then I started filming it and presenting it to the lovely YouTube people out there, because it's fun and unique.
One thing I have to say about your channel is the content is varied at times. Where does that come from?
That came about basically because I have so many ideas floating in my head that I really want to, as I said before, it's all about throwing stuff on the wall and seeing what sticks at this point. The Ninja Gaiden files, that happened because I'm 34 and I still haven't beaten Ninja Gaiden or Gaiden on the original Nintendo system. That quest happens once a month for me because that's all I can tolerate that game, and that's all the people around me can tolerate for that game. The $15 challenge, I already answered that. The Game Hunt and Yard Sale, and that's my take on the Game Chasers and Retro Hunters, and I have Proud Moments in Video Game History, which is basically me, just wanting to share stories. And at the end of the day, I really feel that that's what a good YouTube channel can be, funny storytelling, or, as long as storytelling is involved in it, that's okay. Do I necessarily tell stories with my stuff? That's up for debate all the time. But I really feel like good YouTube channels tell really good stories, and they're funny. So hopefully I nail the funny, and the storytelling can fall into place a little later. And then, there's always the reviews that I try to do. Reviews are hard to come by, and I haven't done one in a while, except for Dead Pixels. And even reviews, I try to interject me and the people that influence me as much as I can. But mostly, you have to put you into the channel. If you try to imitate Spoonie, or if you try to imitate Angry Joe, or if you try to imitate Juwario, or Angry Video Game Nerd, then you're going to be an imitator, not somebody who's inspired by that person. And it's a fine line to walk, definitely.
They say retro video game collecting can be a faux pas when it comes to helping you get some bedroom action. Does your wife approve of your gaming and collection?
Yes, she does. She knows that I'm a collector. She knows that I recently started my collection up again, that I'm into video gaming again. And it's weird. Since I started the YouTube channel, I haven't been playing video games as much. I've been collecting a lot more, but I haven't been playing video games as much. But she understands, as long as I keep it within budgetary reasons, as long as the bills are paid, the roof's over the head, everything, we have food, we can go out and do stuff, then, I can put my budget down for how much I can spend on video games. And, she's a gamer herself, too. She has her setup in the bedroom with her 360, her flat screen, and right above it is her retro Lancer from Gears of War 3. So yeah, she definitely approves.
Well, thank you, Dommerscoolstuff, for being on the show today. I've truly enjoyed it.
Thanks for having me. It's been a pleasure. And this is Dommerscoolstuff, and as always, do good gaming.
Tune in next time, and we'll interview a YouTuber who truly is working for the weekend. The Weekend Game Guy. This is Ronald Belmont, signing off for Retro Video Game Weekly.